Okay. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for another session of Auburn High School Career Corners. Today we have with us guests from the City of Auburn Workforce Development, Dr. Amy Brabham, and from Southern Union State Community College, and from GE Aviation and RAPA. And they're going to talk with us today about the FAME program that collaborates with Southern Union and some of our local employers. And without further ado, I will introduce to you Dr. Amy Brabham, the Director of Workforce Development for the City of Auburn.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. We are thrilled that today we've had some very important folks take some time to talk to you about the FAME program. And you may wonder what that is. We hope that you know a little bit about it, but it's a wonderful new opportunity for students. And I'm going to introduce Tyler Nelson with Southern Union State Community College and allow Tyler to say a few words and introduce the folks that are involved with FAME today. So we thank you for your attention and for being with us today. Tyler?
Sure thing. Thank you, Amy. My name is Tyler Nelson, Director of Technical Career Services here at Southern Union. And one thing that we're really excited about is FAME on the Plains. FAME is an acronym. It stands for Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. And it really is a program that takes technical education and flips it on its head, so to speak. It really places work-based learning first, and it offers so many different pathways for you to go into engineering, to go into the technical fields, or even go into the business sector. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Mr. John Lewis. He's the HR manager at GE Aviation, but he's also the vice president of FAME on the Plains chapter. And he's going to tell you a little bit more about the FAME on the Plains program, as well as what it looks like from an employer's perspective. We also have an AMT with us. That's an advanced manufacturing technician, one of our FAME students who is currently employed at RAPA, Mr. Hayden Aderholt. He's also AHS alumni. So he's going to give you that student perspective as well. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Mr. John Lewis, HR manager at GE Aviation and VP of FAME on the Plains. John?
Hey, good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. So question that you might have is, what is FAME? So FAME is an employer-led program to provide and manage career pathways, as Tyler mentioned, which will produce global best entry-level talent in order to meet the workforce needs of the local business and industry. FAME is also a program that is driving the future of the manufacturing industry by building cohesive cooperatives with manufacturers to implement a proven model of skilled training as developed by Toyota Manufacturing over 30 years ago. FAME currently provides technical qualifications in advanced manufacturing to 31 chapters in 12 states, partnering with over 300 engaged employers, as well as 30 college partners. It is a program that helps students to develop technical skills needed in the workplace, as well as developing a deeper understanding of the manufacturing industry. FAME also offers students the opportunity to earn while they learn. So you have an opportunity to make money while you go to school. What makes a graduate from the FAME program more desirable than one who did not participate in the program? With that, I think it's three things that makes a graduate from the FAME program more desirable. The number of technical available jobs, the quality and work readiness of the technicians to impact the business results, and the aging skill force. The FAME program has an 81% placement rate with the employers once completing the program. There are more job openings than there are qualified people to fill them. Through the FAME program, students acquire skills that are highly sought after in the workplace. Employers are unable to locate skilled technicians that can fill the jobs vacated by the aging workforce that has performed this work for the last 40 years. Nationwide shortages of skilled labor cause problems for the employers. FAME places qualified students with employers over a period of 5 semesters. It is a combination of classroom and on-the-job training. This is what makes a program graduate more desirable than someone who did not participate in the program. What does upward mobility look like upon graduating from FAME? What are the salaries, opportunities to continue their education? According to the Alabama Department of Labor, industrial machinery mechanics are the highest in demand jobs in the state, averaging a salary of $51,000 a year. As many of the baby boom generation workers will be retiring in the next 3 to 5 years, the Center for Automotive Research has estimated that 75% of current tool and die workers may retire during that time. So why is that important? So it is important for the quality of life and for salary for someone who is interested in getting involved in that field. Are there any other questions?
Thank you, John. Next up, that's an employer perspective of FAME, but also we wanted to give you a student's perspective of, that little side as well. So we invited Mr. Robert Aderholt, Hayden Aderholt, to speak with you guys from a student's perspective and, what FAME means to that, means in that regard. So without any further ado, Mr. Hayden Aderholt.
Hey, so as you know, I'm an AHS alumni. I graduated in May of 2019, and I've been in and out of the engineering and machining programs at AHS, and a lot of that has a lot of interest in me, and when Tim from my HR came up to me and told me about this FAME program at Southern Union that they're starting up, I was already in CNC machining, and I was interested in not only learning more about mechatronics, but also expanding my knowledge on more related tasks in that trade area. And so it was a lot more appealing to me rather than just knowing one side of it. You get to learn a whole lot more sides of it. And that'll, in the long run, it will help you out. So the whole program is really different. It's not like a normal technical program. You're with a cohort of students. You stay with them through the whole program, all 5 semesters. And you have 1 or 2 instructors throughout the whole time you're there. You'll get to develop a bond with each and every person in there, and really learn how to work well with each other, and develop those team building skills that you need in work-based life. It's a very very needed talent, especially in this field. You're consistently working with a lot of different people, and you need to be able to get along with them to get your job done. For work to life balance and what it's like, it's very easy to go to work for me, especially doing it with things that you like, to do. You're going to work for the thing that you're interested in, the thing that you're going to school for. So it's a very easy task for me. It's also, I've been working since I was 14, so it's a very easy, really extremely easy for me to just get up and go to work. I've developed a pretty good work ethic, and I think that's also important to develop when you're in high school. And the last question is, why consider FAME? It's a wonderful opportunity to expand on pre-known skills and dip into the other trades around that skill and learn a lot more than just one thing. And you'll get communication skills that you'll need for life, and it's a really good path to take. And so.
Thank you, Hayden. So that's two different perspectives. Also, I want to give you guys a little bit more information on the FAME on the Plains and how to apply and really what it is. So essentially, FAME is a working scholarship, meaning that you're going to go to work, you're going to make money. In fact, you start off at $13 an hour and you have progressive wages after that. And that's really the unique thing about FAME is that's where you start. You're going to start working immediately as soon as you're selected by your sponsor company. You're going to go and start that HR onboarding process and work that entire summer. And that's going to give you all of that that applicable knowledge that you need to be successful when you come into the classroom and start learning the theory. And even in that, we look at the benefits that provides if you decided to go down that engineering track. From the plant managers I've spoken to, you can expect a 10 to a 30% increase in pay having that applicable knowledge combined with that theoretical knowledge. So you're definitely setting yourself up to be successful in your field early on if that's one of the pathways you decided to go. But like we said earlier, the beauty of this is that there are different pathways. The technical degree is not necessarily your terminal degree. You might persist on and just think of the possibilities. You get that AMT degree with all that applicable experience combined with maybe an engineering degree from a 4-year. That in and of itself is pretty significant. So that could put you up into the 70 to 80 category in terms of salary. And then if you add the business sector on top of that, now you have all the components necessary to ultimately become a plant manager of your own and be making well above 6 figures. In that regard. So plenty of opportunities there for you and tons of possibilities. To get into the FAME program, there are some requirements. You cannot need remedial coursework. So that means you have to be able to go straight into that English 101 or that Math 100. You can't need the English 090 or the Math 098 or anything like that we would call a prerequisite to getting into that credited math or that credited English. So that's the main requirements. Also, you have to have an application on file with us. We don't guarantee that everyone who applies is going to be selected. There is an interview process that you would have to go through as well. But if selected, your sponsoring company would sign you to a contract and you would begin working immediately that summer. And then once you start school in the fall, it would go to a 3-2. So 3 days at work, 2 days at school. So you're still going to stay more at work than you are at school. And that continues on until you graduate with your degree. You can apply at fameontheplains.com. That's PLAINS, fameontheplains.com. Click the Apply Now button. We are currently accepting applications for our 2021 cohort that will start next fall. The deadline for that has not yet been set, but we anticipate it will be mid to late May that we'll cut off applications. If you have any questions about the FAME on the Plains program, Miss Audrey Marshall or Miss Amy Hanna can definitely direct you to me specifically, and we can discuss this and continue these discussions further. Are there any questions?
Okay, I think Mrs. Hannah may have some things that she can listen, and we want to introduce our wonderful career coach, Miss Amy Hanna, who is with us today also. Did not get to introduce you earlier.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Tyler, for all the information. I think if Hayden is still with us, I know he's been having internet problems. Listen, I love what you said. You did a great job explaining the program and just kind of saying how you got into it. Do you mind if thinking about, I know you mentioned the engineering and the machining classes at the high school. Do you remember what really made you even get interested in those types of classes? And is that really what did it? I mean, what was the interest in machining?
So I come from a family of a lot of engineers, and so it's kind of in my blood. Ever since I was little, I always liked dissecting anything like toys or any sort of mechanical thing. And so learning a lot of knowledge based on how things work and taking them apart and putting them back together That's another interest that you probably should have going into this. A lot of this, when I say mechatronics, it's a lot of just, technical maintenance. Like if a machine's down, you go out, you fix it. That's the main part of this whole program. You'll get to learn a lot of electrical, and a lot of, I think we're going to be going into PLC programming in a few semesters, but you'll also get a fabrication side of it too. And so yeah, I've been interested in engineering and machining ever since I was, I guess, little. And so when the high school had it, I definitely jumped on that opportunity to do it.
That's awesome. Thanks very much. John, so, we see Hayden and we've heard his perspective. I wonder if you could say what, from the employer's perspective, does a FAME student look like to you? What kinds of characteristics does that student possess?
Oh, wow. And I think Hayden hit the nail on the head. Somebody that likes to tinker, someone that is mechanically inclined, that has spent time, whether working on the farm or in the garage, just messing with things, and has a unique interest in being able to repair and fix and disassemble and put back together, and that has that mechanical aptitude. It's someone I think is the best fit for that type of role.
Awesome. Thank you. And Tyler, last question for you. Can you tell our students if Southern Union is allowing any kinds of tours face-to-face, or if they have interest and want to come out and see the Center for Integrated Manufacturing, is that possible right now?
Actually, yes, it is. We're hosting small groups, of course, staying in compliance with social distancing. You have to wear a mask, and you also have to fill out a brief survey coming in. But we are open for tours right now at the Center for Integrated Manufacturing. If you would rather do it at a distance, though, we also have a virtual tour that's up, and it's you guys can go through the entire thing yourself, and just one of those 3D virtual deals. But we can send you the link to that as well. We've also done one of those where we've recorded it, so there is a voiceover as well, and that's available on YouTube. We'll get you the link to those as well.
Good deal. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. And we do want to thank each of you. Does anyone else have any other questions or any comments for the group today, or from the group today? All right. We do want to mention that we are very, very excited that each of you are joining us today. I also wanted to mention that we are so very proud of Hayden. He is a former Auburn High School student. Like, we're going to claim him, that did take machining and was actually a work-based learning student that was working with RAPA as a high school student too. So that connection is there. I know that was a great opportunity for him to see the actual benefits of going to FAME as a program because of the high wages and the high demand employers that he is able to continue working with. So we are so very thankful for each of you being here today. We're thankful for Dr. Brabham for bringing all the information here to us, and Mr. Nelson and also Mr. Lewis from DE Aviation, both to speak with our students today. And at this time, we will say thanks to each of you, and we hope that all of our students out there will consider perhaps working with or looking at FAME as an option for post-secondary careers. And thank you all today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.